Hello, Jerry with Jerry Ashford team at Centennial Home Mortgage.
Karl Mengers, Mengers Realty.
We have been through their loan process and the purchase process, and what we did over the last few weeks is we went through everything going smooth. Get your approval letter, you get your house, you write the contract, all the inspections go well.
Everybody's excited.
Everything goes well, you close, everybody's happy, right? What happens when it's not so perfect? What happens when the inspection doesn't go right, the appraisal doesn't go right? What happens then? First thing we do, panic.
No, we
yes,
don't panic.
we freak out.
No, everybody does that, but that's our job is calm them down.
We got to calm them down, right? Okay, so once we don't panic, we calm down, we
assess the situation. We see what the real deal is. Is it fixable? Is it not? You know, what do we need to bring to the table to make it work? You know, generally the first thing that goes wrong is with the inspection.
Right.
You know, and it's the inspector's job. You hired him to find everything he can wrong with the house. Some of those things are real things that everybody should be concerned about. You know,
right.
Safety,
absolutely.
safe, sound, secure, stuff like that. But there's some of those things, you know, like a loose light switch cover, something like that. Yes, he has to note that. That's his job. But it's not a deal killer. You know, and we assess that list of items and we go through that. Most of the time we can work through that without any issues or renegotiate some things.
And that's a big list, because they kick out some big reports.
Absolutely. But that is part of our job. That's what we're paid for, is to help work through all of that.
And we want to make sure it's right. We want to make sure what we're buying. You're going to spend $100,000 on something.
You know, your house may be 100 years old. The inspection is going to be different on a 100-year-old house versus a 10-year house. And you know, the buyer needs to understand that. And the seller needs to understand their house is 100 years old. You know, we just work with that.
I agree with that completely. Okay, appraisals.
Oh, okay.
Appraisals are.
Now, most of the time, we've done as good a job as we can do running the CMAs and finding out the actual value. And we're not going to let our buyer make an offer that's too far from what we think it will actually appraise for.
Absolutely.
Now, sometimes a buyer may want this house. It's irrelevant what the appraisal comes back at. They're willing to throw a little more cash at the deal. You know, I've had $25,000 over appraisal.
Absolutely. I had one last summer. It's $35,000.
Right.
The guy just wrote a check.
If it fits your deal and it makes you happy, spend the money. That changes everybody else's appraisals over time.
Absolutely.
Right now, though, they're kind of stuck with what they get. But if you don't have the money or things are a little tight, then everything's renegotiable. The buyer and the seller have to deal with the appraisal that comes in.
And that appraised value. And that lender is going off the appraised value.
Period.
So your loan amount is based on what the appraised value is. So if that appraised value is lower than what the sales price is, you have to come up with that difference in cash. And sometimes they're willing to do that, sometimes they're not.
Right.
Or you renegotiate. Sometimes it's $5,000, $2,000. Maybe we split the difference. Yeah. Everything's negotiable. It's
all something that we can work out. And again, that is part of our job. His job is just to make sure it gets financed. Our job is to make sure all that stuff goes smooth to get it to the finance deal. And
right.
if you've done your job and I've done my job, the only other problems come in is in dealing with the title company. And as long as we're all communicating, it's generally not a problem.
Communication is key.
It is absolutely the most important thing in this business.
See, this to me, today's video is a prime example of why you do not want to do real estate by yourself. Why would you want to deal with the inspector? Why would you want to deal with the appraiser? Why would you want to deal with the title company? All these things that pop up, you are having to deal with as the owner of the house or as the buyer. You two are trying to figure this out. We do this 5 times
for a living.
Yeah,
right.
we do this. We get paid to do this. Why would you not let that guy that does it all the time take care of you? I don't know. Something to think about.
It is. Absolutely.
Jerry with the Centennial Home Mortgage.
Karl Mengers, broker owner at Mengers Realty, where we do real world real estate every day.
Have a great week.